So you guys remember Riki-Oh, right? The story of Riki? That crazy action-packed prison movie that was just beyond anything anyone had ever seen. It was one of the greatest Hong Kong films ever made in sort of that so bad it's good, but also just cult favorite way. There's another movie that came out by the same director, and it's coming out real soon. You might want to jump on the pre-order. Let's get into it. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void. My name is Alex, and today I'm rushing out a film for you because I had heard word on the street that this pre-order is selling out everywhere, and so you might want to get on this if you've never before. I think it's sold out in a lot of different areas, but I'll try to go over where you might be able to pick this up. There may be some, places online that you can still pick up a copy. I would not rely on Amazon, but that is for the movie The Cat from 1991. This is the Blu-ray region A and B from 88 Films. Not just the film, but also the Japanese version in this movie. Lam Nai-Choi is the director of this movie. He did many different movies like The Seventh Curse. He did Riki-Oh, of course. He also did so many other films that are just wonderful that need to come out right now, like The Peacock King that 88 Films is also going to be putting out, like Ghost Snatchers, which a lot of people aren't privy to, that you need to see, that are just amazing. These are just cult films that just do things that you don't really get from other directors. Lam Nai-Choi really does a good job of kind of like making cult films that may not be as popular right at the day they came out, but people absolutely adore later. And I'm going to be talking about what I think of The Cat, how long I've been a fan of it, some things about it real quick, and then we're going to get into the unboxing of it so that you can know all the great extras that are in here and what it looks like on the inside here, because this box set is primo. Pre-orders are running out, so you may not want to wait, but if you're curious to see what's inside before you drop the money, I'll let you know about everything before this video ends, so you can make that decision for yourself. But yeah, wouldn't wait on this one, guys, but let's get into the review first. So yes, The Cat. I have been a fan of this movie for quite some time. I actually own the unofficial DVD, although I did have the DVD at once, and the Blu-ray, but kind of pale in comparison to this one, okay? Because this is a thick daddy. 88 Films really kind of knew what they had on their hands here and really brought the goods, in my opinion. First, let's tell you what this movie's about, why it's so batshit crazy, and why so many people have talked about it. And even though it's not the most popular film of his bunch, it's one of the more crazy. An alien that is hiding amongst the people. It is kind of like the Blob or the Thing, and it is an evil beast that's trying to take over the world when a group of good aliens that have a woman and a man and a loyal cat with supernatural powers, they basically take the battle with this thing and try to save the planet Earth. They are being hunted by a murderous alien creature that is inhabiting the bodies of dead people and other police officers and such. And the woman and the cat team up with Wisely, who is a famous adventurer, and Inspector Wong, a skeptical cop, battle the monster in a showdown that will blow your fucking mind. If that doesn't sell you on it, I don't know what will. But I'll show you some clips throughout that give you a good taste of what this movie's all about. This has kung fu, sci-fi, horror, comedy. There's an alien cat that does battle with a dog in one of the craziest fight scenes I think I've ever seen in a movie. Choreographed with real cats, real dogs, but also animated dogs and puppeted animals. It's insane. It's just a bunch of crazy aliens fighting each other in different ways to save or destroy the Earth, and it just spells one crazy story. Now, these are based off the Ni Kuang's Wisely series, which are like these adventure series that were really popular, that basically went on specific adventures in each book to do different things. And it's actually not the first time Lam Nai-Choi actually did a movie with this. In fact, the Seventh Curse, which he did, which is one of the movies I saw before this one, was actually another story loosely. This one's based off of the old cat. I forget the proper name of it in Cantonese or Chinese, but he constantly is running into supernatural aliens and bizarre creatures, and one of them happens to be a cat that has, you know, all these crazy extraterrestrial powers, and it's from another planet, and it's just amazing. I like this movie a lot because there is just so much batshit crazy. It's a little rough around the edges story-wise to follow because you're not really sure who these characters are unless you've actually read the books. So if you're new like I was when I first saw the cat and I had no idea these were based off the books, well, then you'd be kind of lost. So it's good to know this going into this film, to know that this is about that guy, this Wisely character who is an adventurer, and he is in this movie kind of talking about himself and also writing about his adventures. Happens upon a friend who lives in a complex where this cat has caused some problems, and these people have moved out suddenly, and things are not the same when they are met at a museum where they're trying to get an artifact that is some sort of ancient alien artifact. When they do, they're met with this evil alien, and things get pretty crazy when the alien turns into a big blob out of a dead body and starts to attack them. This is just some of the most ridiculous, silly, and just entertaining as fuck kind of films. To me, it's just straight up entertaining, but a lot of people would probably call it so bad it's good, which I think that's fair to say, but I don't want to take away from this film by just throwing that terminology out there all the time. S-big, you know, so bad it's good, because some people get turned off by that, and I really think this is a fun film in general. Sure, it's got some silly stuff in it, but it's almost kind of intentionally done so it almost feels like it's part of the movie and just good that way anyway. You get some pretty famous names in it: Gloria Yip, Wise Lee, and Christine Yang, and so many more other people that you may recognize. If you like just strange, bizarre stuff where cats can speak to humans and aliens turn into globulous like monsters and things like that melt people from the inside or outside and just turn them into mush, this is definitely going to be for you. Okay, is the story a little jumbled and kind of confusing in parts? Yes, it doesn't flow exactly how it should necessarily, but as a Lam Nai-Choi film, it really does work how it's intended to. Maybe not the best Lam Nai-Choi film that there is, but man, is it something that you will never forget. I personally think you should check this out if you like Hong Kong weird films like I do, because it's just amazing. Now, I understand some of you guys just don't have the taste for that, and that's fine, but you gotta understand, this is my cup of tea. I was extremely happy to get a copy of this. I'm gonna tell you about some of the extras in it now too, so you can see what is included. If you want to skip to the end and just see the end chat, all the timestamps are down below. There's also links below if you want to try to pick up a copy. I'll try to look for a place online that you might be able to find a copy still to pre-order. I wouldn't suggest Amazon because they are taking orders past their numbers and just writing people afterwards and saying, sorry, you don't have a copy. It's not guaranteed. They're just going to refund your money. Anyway, let's get into the extras now. Now, this had an original street date of the 23rd, but it got pushed back to the 30th. I think in part because of the mass need for this film. Like, so many people wanted it more than they expected, and I don't think that the licensing is going to allow for many more copies. So like I said, if you have any interest whatsoever, I wouldn't wait around, and I would try to find an outlet that doesn't sell pre-orders. There is a slipcover on top of the hard box, which you don't really see very much anymore. I think that's kind of cool. I like that. I don't know why, but they just did it. There's like a lobby card in here with both of the artwork from the original and the newly art commission. We got the book that comes along with it. It goes over quite a bit. Some of the chapters in this are Cast and Crew, The Cat is Dangerous, a retrospective look at the filmography of Lam Nai-Choi by Paul Bremel, Body Horror, The Warped Cinema of Lam Nai-Choi by Matthew Edwards, and Special Thanks. You also get reversible cover on here. This is the original, and underneath is the new artwork that you've seen on the front of the box. So you should know that one by now. This one is, I just like having it in there because we already see it like 3 times. So I might as well have the original underneath. Nothing inside of the case other than the disc. And it is, you know, region A and B, of course, unrated. Pretty simple stuff, but it just feels very premium with the brand new 2K transfer restoration from the original negative. It's a high definition Blu-ray presentation in 185.1. This is a remastered original Cantonese monoaural soundtrack, newly translated English subtitles, and let me tell you, they are so much better than what they were before. I've seen many iterations of it. These are the best by far. Audio commentary by Asian cinema expert Frank Zhang, who does a really good breakdown of kind of the history of not only this movie, but just kind of why the movies happened and, you know, a lot about it. He's just chock full of information on the commentary. He's from the New York Asian Film Festival. We also get the Japanese cut in standard definition here, which is with English subtitles. So if you've never seen this, this is kind of something that they go over in the extras that you'll be able to hear with the Gordon Chan, but it's kind of like in the commentary as well. But there was 2 different directors that actually did this because the production team or the producers who wanted to throw money at this were Japanese. So they wanted to have a Japanese director come in, use different actors in the movie in the same time they were filming this movie in Hong Kong, so that they could have 2 different versions that they could basically pitch to an audience, because they wanted to have their stars in there that would make everybody want to go to the movies to see theirs, and then also keep some of the ones from Hong Kong that were popular and then basically use their own. There are completely different characters in that part. Similar structure of the story, but things do happen a little bit differently. Even some of the practical effects are different because they use the same shit, just different angles and things. So some of the characters it's really bizarre. I ended up watching both of them tonight and it was just crazy. It's really kind of wild. I think I still prefer the original Hong Kong one because that's how I saw it. But if you grew up knowing the Japanese one or just are curious, it's really cool to have that in here. So I say, you know, super cool that they added it in there. That's the reason why that they were able to include it, is because the producers wanted to have it. And it caused some problems that they talk about a little bit in some of the extras. So we also get a brand new film interview with writer Gordon Chan, who's very honest and very open about his sort of style of writing, how he wrote, how he was with, you know, Lam Nai-Choi, and, you know, how the whole situation went about with the other director, what he knows of it anyway, because he had a very different relationship with the director. But we also get image gallery and a trailer on this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything in here is, I wouldn't say I'm overwhelmed with the extras. I would always love to see a little bit more, but to be quite honest with you, for sort of this not as much talked about film, The Cat definitely got some really nice treatment here, and I am hard pressed to think that you're going to get a better version than this. I hope that they reprint more, or at least do some sort of standard edition, or Fortune Star allows them to, because they licensed it from another company. You know, it's got Fortune Star labels all over it, and I hope that they allow them to do more prints because of the popularity of this release. So it's good to know that Hong Kong is becoming popular again, because for the longest time, there's just like the deepest recesses of horror and fandom are like people like me who just love that shit and just have like an unending supply and love for that kind of genre cinema. Shaw Brothers, we got just a lot of Hong Kong fans out there, and it's nice to see that it's popping up again. So if you like Hong Kong, by the way, you're definitely at the right channel. I try to cover a lot of that stuff, even if it's not genre piece, so to speak. I'm very happy with this release. Thank you so much to 88 Films and MVD for sending this out to me. If you are not sold on this already, then you're dead to me. And anyway, no, I'm really excited about this release. They've got the Peacock King coming out, which is only going to be in Region B for the UK. 88 Films does their work primarily out there. But they are bringing out Saga of the Phoenix, which is the sequel to the Peacock King. That's going to be coming out here on Blu-ray. I believe A and B, regioned. But I'm going to try to get both. I really love the Peacock King. I've never actually watched all the way through, but that's the one that's based off the manga, which, the Peacock King and Saga of the Phoenix are all based off of this character. So it's got creatures, it's got fantasy, it's got fighting. It's amazing. So those are coming out too, and you'll want to keep an eye out for them. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. I'm sorry if it's a mess. I'm just trying to get this out the door for you guys. If there's a little bit of errors in it, it's just so I can get the word out to you as soon as possible. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What's your favorite Lam Nai-Choi film? I would love to hear it. And I'm sure we could share a bunch of stories in the comment section down below. Let me know some Hong Kong films that you want me to watch or talk about. I got plenty that I've already done on the podcast and might do on this channel. So let me know what you think. Hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks for coming by. And as always, long live the void.